Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 optical illusions that will melt your mind. Our minds are incredibly smart and powerful, but they can sometimes be duped by something as simple as a shape or color. So here are 10 optical illusions that will really change how you see the world. But before your mind totally melts, be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 we have MJ. So take a look at this first illusion here. Now you may be thinking, Charlie, why are you showing me a bunch of dots? I mean, from a glance, this really does look like simply a bunch of dots. And it kind of hurts your eyes if you look at it for too long. Well, walk back from your device and you'll see something different. I'll also make it smaller on screen so you can see it easier. Now that I've made it smaller, can you see who it is? That's right, the king of pop is hidden within this illusion. Amazingly, simply the spacing of the dots makes out the shape of Michael Jackson. This is kind of like a secret illusion as you don't notice it close up. But when the image is small and the dots are more compressed, you can see it's clearly MJ. People have actually done this with many celebrities and objects. And it's fairly easy to do, and there's some programs online that actually let you do it for free. Were you fooled by this illusion, or do you see it instantly? It's pretty crazy how something can look so different being small and big. But this is simply our eyes and minds working in an odd way. Next up is circles and squares. So check out this illusion. Can you tell what it is? It pretty much just looks like a bunch of squares and lines. But you may be stunned to find out there are actually 16 circles in this picture. Now you're likely looking around thinking, where are they? You might be thinking they're tiny microscopic circles that you can't see. But no, they're staring right at you in plain sight. If you want to see them, you need to concentrate on the vertical lines going down. You should be able to make out the 16 circles. How this works is a very intricate placement of many shapes. If you look at it for long enough, you should easily be able to switch your attention from the lines to the circles. It's so crazy how the circles were hidden in plain sight there, and it really goes to show how simply our eyes can fool us. If you are able to switch between the circles and lines very quickly, you may be a genius, as it proves a high IQ, but if not, then simply enjoy this amazing illusion. Next up is spots. So we've already seen how circles can really deceive our eyes, but this one seems pretty clear cut. Answer me this, which group of spots are bigger? Now you may be thinking it's either A, B or C, but actually you may be surprised to learn that all of these spots are the same size. The reason why these spots are a different size is simply because of the spacings. The backlashes between them simply make them look larger and smaller. It's pretty amazing how this works, as it's such a simple yet deceiving illusion. Were you fooled by this illusion, or could you see that all of the spots were the same size in the beginning? Personally, it fooled my eyes, but type in the comments if your eyes were too smart for this. Next up is strawberries. So this is one of the most amazing illusions you've ever seen. Let me ask you a question, what color are those strawberries? Now you're likely saying red, but that is not the case. The strawberries in this photo are not red. There are only 3 colors in this image, grey, light cyan and dark cyan. However, our eyes automatically see these berries as red. There's a very long detailed explanation about this photo which has baffled many, and it almost seems impossible that there's no red in this image. But seriously, this image literally only has 3 colors, and it's pretty amazing that our eyes automatically make the strawberries red. If the strawberries aren't red for you, then you could have color blindness and should see a doctor. Next up is lines. So this is an incredibly mind-blowing illusion which focuses on perspective. One of the easiest ways to confuse your brain is by perspective. This is the reason why photographers and artists often like to play with perspective. Let me show you this illusion. Now I'm going to ask you which line is longer. Well, you may be surprised to learn that both lines are the exact same length. If I take away the squares here, you can clearly see the lines are the same length. But because it appears the squares go flat like a road, you think it gets bigger as it goes away. For example, if you looked at the Empire State Building from far away, it would look small, but you know it's big. That's why you think the red line is larger, but in fact it's not. Were your eyes and brain duped by this awesome illusion? Next up is skull. Take a look at this famous painting by Hans Holbein. The painting is called The Ambassadors and it's very famous. But hidden in the image is a very early and amazing illusion. You can likely see an odd stain on the floor by the 2 men, but if you turn the thing you're watching this on to the right, you'll see it's actually a skull. It's amazing that by looking at the stain from the right, you'll see a skull. To the bare eye, it may just look like a random smudge, but it's clearly a very detailed skull. Now, Hans Holbein is very genius for this as it was a very early artwork, but somehow he was able to make a very magical illusion. And remember, this was all hand painted, even though it looks photoshopped. I have to give credit to Hans for really messing with my mind and eyes. Next up is dog. So this is one of the oldest optical illusions in the book, and this is a very old test dating back from the 1800s. It used to be used as an optical test to find geniuses. The question is, how quickly can you see the face in the dog? Now this is very difficult and you may be struggling, and I don't blame you. In case you haven't already seen it the normal way, turn it 90 degrees and you'll see a man with a hat. The dog's ear makes up the hat and the dog's cheek makes up the man's face. It's incredibly hard to see this and only 10% of people can actually see it first time. Let me know in the comments if you saw it first time or if you had to turn it 90 90 degrees. There's no shame if you didn't see it first time, so this used to be used to test geniuses. But if you did see it first time, then maybe give Mensa a call. Next up is floor. So you may be thinking you couldn't be fooled by something as simple as a floor. Well, that is where you would be wrong. Now, from the looks of it, this floor goes down. There's literally no way you can fathom simply walking over this floor, but the floor is actually a creation by a group of 3D illusion artists. They made this perfectly even floor seem like it had a dip in it, but really there's no dip in the floor at all. The reason why this is so convincing is because of the glass reflections. This solidifies the illusion in your mind and tricks your eyes and brain. This entire thing is very elaborate and amazing, and you have to give props to the artists here. Just think about how many people get fooled and surprised by this hallway. It would definitely trip me out. Just imagine walking down this hall after a night of heavy drinking. Next up is gibbous or inverted. So this is another piece of illusion architecture. This is the Paris courtyard in Budapest. Take a look at the roof of this building and tell me if it goes in or out. Basically, is it inverted or gibbous? No matter how long you look at it, you won't be able to tell from a simple photo. You'd actually have to go to Hungary to get the answer for this yourself. But to save you a few $1,000s on a plane ticket, I'll tell you it's actually gibbous. That's right, the roof goes out like a normal roof. But because of the way it's built, it looks like it could go inwards as well. This building is incredibly trippy and would really freak me out if I saw it. Of course, if you saw the outside of the building in real life, it would solve the illusion. But in a photo, this is one very confusing building. Next up is arch. So this is a piece of drawn architecture which is very confusing. Let me ask you a question, is this arch symmetrical? Now you may be saying definitely not, but the black bar creates an illusion as this arch is totally symmetrical. You may not even believe the effect, it's so strange. But if the line in the middle was removed, you'd see an absolutely symmetrical arch. How this works is simply due to the placing of the arch. And it's all to do with our eyes and brain being too dumb and assuming the wrong thing. Oh, thanks a lot, eyes and brain. But have no shame, as pretty much everyone thinks this is not symmetrical, when really, it is. Check out the poll in the top right corner and vote for how many of these you fell for. And be sure to check out my second channel too. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment, so be sure to click it. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.